What is going on, you guys? ShadowX here, back with you for another Dokkan battle video, and we have the celebration details for part 2 of the New Year's celebration campaign going on over here on JP. Lots to talk about, so let's go ahead and break it down. So starting off with things, we have just regular missions and logins, so make sure you guys are actively playing the game every day to obtain these various rewards. We also have a Ginyu login bonus returning, so that's always nice. Make sure you guys are actively logging in every day as you should be. Next, we have a new season of Battlefield returning, so always nice to see that. We have finally all of the type banners are making their return. Now these have not been available, I believe, since the 4-year anniversary. Around then, might have even been the 3rd year anniversary if I remember correctly. It's been so long. Literally, I don't have any of these characters because I just have not had a chance to pull them because they're just never around. They're never available. And when they are, they do the stupidest thing ever and they only give us one summon to summon on these banners. So guess what happens? You do your summon, you don't pull any of these guys, and you're essentially just throwing stones down the drain. When you could and should be saving for the 70th anniversary, which is literally around the corner. What they need to do is put all these units in the general SSR pool, so we can have a fair chance at pulling them, right? Like, imagine if all these guys were on every banner of the game. I'd probably have some of them by now, but guess what? They're not, because literally they've just never been around. It's stupid. So the fact that they're finally bringing them around now, it's almost like, why? Like, what the hell's the point of these? Like, all these guys suck at this point. Like, you know, I know they've all awoken, but they've all aged out for the most part. Like, it's just not worth your stone. Don't summon. Please don't. Skip. Save for 70th anniversary, I promise you. Okay, so with that said, alright, so LR Trunks and Goten are finally getting their Easy A. They're next. Now, we knew this because of the fact that they made the Nimbus medals acquirable freely, right? There's no restriction on how many you can get now, so that was an obvious sign that they were next to Easy A. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I can have high hopes with what they do with them, but, you know, with the way they've treated these past LR Easy A's, I'm pretty sure they're going to disappoint us, so you know, definitely don't hold out the highest of hopes for them, but keep in regard that, again, another Hyper Saiyan buff, so there's that to talk about. Alright, next we have the Easy A event for all the fusion characters, so don't forget about that. We have the sub Easy A's for Tech Vegeta, Int Vegeta, the base form versions, right? The Int Vegeta and Spirit Bomb base Goku, and then also the Tech Boo. So those are all the characters that are going to be Easy A, so don't forget about them. Again, we have Mighty Mask getting his Awakening as well in an Easy A. Dude, my voice is really not feeling good, so I'm going to try and move pretty quick. So if I sound really raspy, that's why. So I'm going to try and move a little bit quicker here. So next we have, you know, the weekend missions returning, so make sure, you know, again, you guys are actively playing the game. A new stage of Infinite Dragon Ball history. Looks like we're going to be getting one of those, so that's always nice. Baton Battle will be returning with a new set of stickers to be collected, so again, you know, get that done. And that's basically everything new that we have for part 2 of this little New Year's celebration campaign. So let's jump back here and talk about, you know, the New Year's Step Up banner, which is available now on both versions. So let's take a look at JP's version here. I'm going to go ahead and break down the characters that I need and don't have fully rainbowed here. There's actually a lot of value for me personally on these banners, so of course I will be going in. So, you know, be on the lookout for a video within the next couple days or so with me summoning on this banner. Before we get into it, I want to give you guys my recommendation on whether I think you should summon on this banner. Personally, if you're a newer player, I definitely think this is definitely high value. You definitely should. You might not have a lot of stones, so, you know, try and, you know, actively grind the game, grind for stones, get as many of the steps done as you can. You know, you keep in mind, you know, you can do this 3 times, which is crazy. I believe last year you could only do it twice. So the fact that they're adding another round for you to be able to do, you know, just more units to be had, right? This is really high value. So that, you know, if you can and want to, you definitely, I think, should take advantage. I think it overall just depends on your situation. Like, if you're a long time active player and you have most of these characters rainbowed, I think saving for the 7th anniversary is probably the smarter way to go. Again, it's completely up to you, but the value here is really good. So for me personally, the only character out of this first step that I really need is like in Goku Black and like SKR Buu I could use copies of. But outside of that, Goku and Frieza are pretty good with their EZAs. Android 17 when he EZAs is going to be ridiculous. I also do need a couple copies of Tech Super Saiyan 4 Goku, but he's pretty mid now. I think he does not very good defensively. Gohan again with his EZA is pretty good. Most of these characters with their EZAs are going to be tremendous, right? So keep that in mind. It's like they're bad pools now, but once the EZA, they're going to be solid. So remember that. Round 2 here, Bojack is pretty good. Like if you're fighting a Frieza Force enemy, outside of that, he sucks. Beerus is limited in where you can use him. He doesn't really link that well with the teams that he's on, where you can use him. That's his problem. Super Saiyan 2 Goku is pretty good if you can get him the 3 orbs, and even further on the 6 orbs. Same thing with Tech Vegeta here. Same situation. Android 13 is pretty good, like on the Android team, but he has kind of fallen off. He doesn't put up the best numbers that you'd like to see. Cooler with his support is fabulous. Also the guaranteed crits against pure and hybrid Saiyans, you can't take that away from him. He's just fallen off defensively and he's aged. That's his problem. Into Gohan again has aged. Piccolo is restricted to the fact that he has the same damn name as every other Piccolo in the game, which hurts him. Namek Goku with his EZA is going to be solid. Again, most of these characters, they're really just reliant on their EZAs at this point, right? Like all of them have pretty much aged. And that's really the only downside that I have with a lot of these characters. Tech Hit is probably the best unit on this round that you could pull if you don't have him rainbowed. He is just fantastic, right? Zamasu again relies on having a better Zamasu unit, right? Okay, so now we have God Goku, who I don't even have. This guy not being on Movie Heroes hurts. The LR androids, if you pull them, I'm sorry. They suck. Tech Broly, if you can get his active skill off, when you get that off, he just destroys. He kind of lacks defensively, and he is really aged, I think. Same thing with Full Power Frieza. If you can get to low health, he can put up really good numbers, but again, that's not a reliable way that you want to play the game, especially in today's meta of Dokkan and how difficult events are. You definitely don't want to be relying on clearing events with low health, right? LR Chemical Leaf if you're fighting a Universal Survival Saga enemy, and they go to work. GT Trunks, Goten, Goku, and Pan here are a pretty good unit, like for like Dragon Ball Seekers, but that's pretty much where the only spot you're using them. LR Baby, I would say, pretty much sucks at this point. He needs a new card. Trunks and Mai are okay with their stunning and Super Battle Road. It's pretty effective. They're not really that great. LR, Goku, and Frieza here are definitely still really good. We know what they did with them during the 6th anniversary, so they're definitely one of the better pulls that you can pull on this banner, right? LR Cell is better with the link level system, but he sucks. LR Bardock is solid with his EZA. Definitely don't discount him. Beerus sucks. Super Saiyan 3 Goku with his EZA is going to be a god. I cannot wait for him. Definitely an underrated unit now, but keep in mind, when you get his 18 key super off with his EZA, he's going to just be breaking the game. I bet. I can't wait for him. Bojack is definitely one of the best aging LRs in the game. I definitely use him still to this day pretty frequently. Really good battlefield LR. Definitely love Bojack. LR Mighty Mask, as we know, are getting their EZA, so it'll be interesting to see what they look like. Currently, at the time of me recording this, we don't have their information in terms of what they're going to do, but they could be a good pull, so keep them in mind. LR Trunks with his EZA recently is pretty good. Goku Black, again, sort of like the Zamasu, which needs a better card. So once that happens, I'm sure his EZA would definitely be worthwhile. LR Broly, we know, is like the god of Dokkan with his EZA and how busted they made him, especially for World Tournament. Always a good pool. LR Majin Vegeta and Gohan here, I would say, are pretty underwhelming. Definitely not better pulls if you pull them. Majin Vegeta can put up solid numbers, but he lacks defensively. And then Gohan doesn't put up the numbers that you would like to see. I think that's the biggest downside of him. I just think they could have done more with those EZAs, right? Like, they were scared, I think. I feel like, a lot of these LR EZAs, they're not giving them the treatment that they should. Like, it's like they don't realize that they're LRs. Like, they need to be better than TRs, right? Like, LRs I'm sorry, but just aren't special anymore like they once were, right? And they still should be. Like they're so hard to pull, right? They need to make them a lot better than what they're giving us, because I definitely don't think most of these LRs that are getting their EZAs just aren't cutting it. Alright, so let's move on to the next list here. So I need copies of everyone on this, on this round. I don't have Rainbowed at all yet, so these are basically just newer Dokkan Fest. So this is probably the stage that I would probably prioritize over all the other rounds, right? Once you get to this step, you're pulling nothing but fire, pretty much. Really until you get to the end here. So obviously, STR Vegeta just came out on Global, so you guys are finally getting a chance to play with him. And how ridiculous he has guaranteed crits and guaranteed stuns. Dude, the new Worthy Rival Super Battle Road stage, he obliterates. He's one-shotting enemies in there. Like, dude, people say that he sucks, and I just don't get it, dude. Like, this guy's solid defensively, right? Dude, he's just crazy. Gohan with his defensive support is really good, so I definitely try and use him when I can. Definitely underrated unit, for sure. Obviously, with GT, Goku, and Vegeta there, we know what they're capable of and the numbers that they can hit. Their rainbow orb changing is just so valuable. I love them. Videl is crazy. We know about Videl and what she can do. She's just very limited and restricted, and she doesn't really link that well with the characters that you want to use her around. With the teams that she's on, she's just like, I just never find myself being able to use her as much as I would like, because she's so good, and that's really the biggest downfall that I have with Videl. Broly is ridiculous. I just think his category is kind of weak. It's a fun category, right? Planetary destruction. I just really only use him for like Battlefield, and that's pretty much it. I wish I could use Broly more. People don't run Broly, unfortunately. Goten and Trunks are not super high on my favorites list. I cannot pull this. I pull this unit every 5 minutes, dude. I have so many just various copies. I've had this unit. I ran this unit so quickly. It's ridiculously. But yeah, I just can't stop pulling them. I don't even want to pull them. I don't even want to talk about them because I'm just tired of seeing them. H.O. Pycon, as bad of a meme as he is, definitely underrated. I love his kit, his design. I just will never understand why they didn't make Janemba's design the same as Pycon's. Pycon is very good. I need one copy of him to rainbow him, but I use Pycon all the time. STR Bojack, again, along with Pycon, is on the current banners that are up, so keep that in mind. Super Saiyan 4, Gogeta, definitely a unit I think, again, is very not talked about. A lot of people don't run him, which is unfortunate. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is really good. Angel Vegeta with his turn 1 active skill transformation is a god, right? I definitely love his design. He's very good. Tet Gohan, we know about him. We don't need to spend any time talking about him. STR Kefla, this is basically where the list pretty much drops severely, right? If you pull any of these guys, you're pretty much just taking L's, right? This is not really what you want to be walking away with your guaranteed summons, right? But again, you can't discredit the fact that these guys are still useful at the rainbow level, but just they don't compare with all these other characters up here. Like that's the biggest takeaway to take away from this, right? So there's basically that step. And then the final step here are with the more recent unfeatured LRs. So Goku and Piccolo here, I don't even have. Keep in mind they're from the Garlic Jr. movie, so I would love to pull them for the first time. LR17 is still really good, even though his design is atrocious. I just will never understand what the hell they were thinking with him. I will say though, he has gotten significantly buffed with the recent Dokkan Fest 17 and 18. The Trenchcoat and Hellfighter 17 with their EZAs. they have been buffing the Android category, a lot lately, right? So that definitely has helped 17. Tabia and Minosha are definitely very wonky. I don't really find myself using them pretty much ever, so I don't really consider them a great pool. Team Universe 7 is still really good, but they're restricted to literally one category, Universe 7, so not really the best pool there, despite how good they are. Frieza and 17, again, are restricted to one team. Their kit is wonky. I don't really care for them, honestly. LR Gohan is still really good, especially with his, key mechanic that he has. He can definitely be a pretty solid defensive unit if you get him a lot of orbs. LR Turles I don't even have, so this is one of the units that I'm really looking forward to trying to pull. Definitely when AGL Turles gets his EZA, he's going to massively buff Turles. He's basically in the same boat as like the Zamasu and Goku Black units, right? Like once they get better cards, they will reign supreme. Angel, you are number 1 Vegeta. Again, another unit I actually don't have, so I'd love to pull him for the first time. Tech Jiren has fallen off defensively. I definitely think he's pretty good as like a universal survival saga leader. He's still pretty useful in like Battlefield, but outside of that, probably not running him in difficult content. I don't think he holds up as well. He has definitely aged. God Goku alongside UI Goku is fantastic. One of the best rotations in the game. I love UI Goku all the way around. Nappa and Vegeta suck. I guess their AoE for like World Tournament use is probably the only spot where you're even running this unit. Dude, they suck. Rose, we talked about, other Rose units needing better cards. That's basically where he sits at the moment. Still pretty good LR. I actually just recently bought him with coins. So I finally have him, so that's cool. Wouldn't mind more copies though. Broly, Chile, and Lemo. One of the LRs that literally have no use in the game. They're like on 2 categories and I just never use them because they're not on movie heroes, which is stupid. But they're a movie boss, but guess what? They don't even work on that team, so. And they're on joint forces and you're not running them because they suck. Like their links, I don't know. Like I like their design in which the way you can use them with all the different like key orb mechanics that they have, but like there's just no spot in the game to run them on, so like they're a dead pool at this point. Like they're actually dead on. They were dead on release. It's unfortunate because we need a new LR Broly so bad in this game. And then Spirit Bomb Goku here with his rainbow orb changing is always valuable, right? His ceiling is always nice in difficult content where it can be applied, right? So keep that in mind. Alright, so there's the New Year's Step Up banner. This is pretty much my thoughts on the best characters, who I need, who I think are good and bad pools. Next to talk about here is the Ginyu login bonus that we have. So make sure you guys are actively logging in every day as you should be, playing the game, get various rewards. We have this new advertisement, basically just celebrating 2022. And I want to bring this up because if you guys remember last year's advertisement for 2021, who was on it? You guys remember? It was Gogeta and Janemba, and guess what happened 7 months later? They released this time, and then 7 months later, they became LRs. So I actually think the same situation is going to happen this time around. We could potentially see Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Kid Buu as the Tanabata LRs this year. And I think it would work really well because they could have, base form Vegeta here as a secondary character on Goku's banner, and then Kid Buu could be like the part 2 LR for Tanabata. I definitely think that's likely. And, we mean that Kid Buu, needs an LR, and we were hoping that, he'd get it now, but I think it makes a lot of sense in the way that they're going about it now, releasing that for Tanabata, right? That's definitely, a worthy celebration, right? So, that's why I want to bring up this art. I love this art, actually. It looks really good. It kind of has, like, that Legends vibe almost to it. I definitely think this art looks fantastic, exceptional. And the last thing I want to talk about is the new Zenny Jackie Chun statue here. Basically, you get this just by playing the game, doing various missions. Make sure you guys are actively getting these so you can sell them because this drops a lot of Zenny. And, every celebration at this point is 10 plus new units, 6, 7, 8, 9 easy A's. You need a lot of Zenny. So, these are going to definitely help you out. Make sure you guys are, actively getting these, right? And that's basically everything that we have for the New Year's celebration campaign here. Looks pretty good. I would recommend you guys probably on JP. It's tough on JP because the 7th anniversary is right around the corner. So, I know if you want to summon on this, like, go ahead. Like, you're gonna walk away with good stuff regardless, right? It's definitely worth your stones. But again, I think it just depends on your situation, what your box looks like, and maybe what you need. Because again, you're not guaranteed the unit that you're looking for. You could pull stuff that you don't need, and that's the biggest downfall because you could essentially be wasting your stones depending on what characters you have rainbowed and what characters that you're actually looking for, right? It just depends on you and what you want to do. But me personally, I would just hold off. Maybe just do like a step or two, I think. But if you really want to go and do all 3, definitely take advantage of it. But keep in mind, the 7th anniversary is around the corner, and you want to have stones going into that, right? Like, I know they're gonna give over 1,000 stones, but this banner is definitely worth your stones as well. So it's up to you. I think global players, y'all can just do whatever the hell you want. I think you should just go in on global because you don't really have anything that's crazy exciting coming up. So it's a lot, the decision is a lot easier for you guys. But over here on JP, we're just stacked with hype. Like literally nonstop until like Dragon Ball Super Superhero comes out, right? It's literally just back to back to back, back to back to back. It's never ending over here in JP. So we always need stones over here. It's crazy. But anyway, that's going to do it for this mini breakdown in regards to all the celebration info that we have for the New Year's campaign. Sorry, that was a little bit of a longer video. Dude, my voice is not feeling very good, so if I sound very raspy, that's why. I was trying to go pretty fast, covering everything, but hopefully I got it all. Let me know what you guys think of Kid Buu and Goku, this New Year's celebration. Also, let me know who you guys want as the 7th year anniversary units. Me personally, I want a Goku and Vegeta unit that have every form on them. Like, I think that would be really hype. Like, obviously, you know, Vegeta, Gogeta, obviously I want as well, but like, we have so many, you know, Vegeta and Gogeta cards in the game. Like, I want something that's like different and unique, I think. More so than I want another fusion duel setup, right? But regardless of what we get, I know it's going to be hype either way. So with that, that's going to do it with this one. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, your boys clocking out. Shadow X. See you guys in the next one.